This is the show for sales professionals and their leadership wanting to be the best. My name is Gert Schultz. Welcome to Best Practice for Sales Professionals. How can science help make more sales? Marco Giannechini is a neuroscientist and an award-winning communications expert. He's a TEDx speaker and has worked with international pharmaceuticals like Bayer and Allergen. But today he is here, sharing how neuroscience can help salespeople make more sales. Marco, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, dear Gert, for this invitation. I'm very honored and glad to be here.
It's great to have you on the show. So, Marco, tell me, why should companies and people be interested in sales, neurosales and neuromarketing?
Oh, wow. Great question, Gert. So I think we should give at the beginning a short definition as commonly used on what is neurosales and marketing. So in a nutshell, we can say that it's a combination of insight from different neuroscience branches like pharmacology, anatomy, brain diagnostic, and from the science that study our behavior. So for example, the behavioral science is analyzing why people are behaving in specific complex situations when, for example, we buy a product or when we decide, for example, to get married with someone, and then finally combining them with marketing and sales best practice. So neuromarketing, this is the umbrella definition. And coming back to your questions, why? Yeah, in my view, because in my experience, neuro sales marketing reduce costs and increase sales, just basically because it helps to align better the emotional customers' needs with the product claims, leveraging on the emotional resonance between customers and company representatives. So emotions are really key, and something which probably it sounds a little bit new for many people, or in our society, we tend to give a lot of importance to the cortical part of the brain. We know now from many studies, and I just quoting one of the more important study that have, let's say, started this revolution by the psychologist Daniel Kahneman, that basically bring up to the conclusion that 95% of our decisions are taken on the base of emotions, not on the base of rational facts. So this is, I think, a message that is very strong, and I want to say this also in a very clear way, and this is science-based.
Wow. So in our preparation, you were talking about chemical messengers. What role do chemical messengers play in this? Okay,
so I had to introduce here let's say an anatomical definition. So neurochemical transmitters act on a specific part of the brain, which is the limbic system, where we store all our memories, emotions, and so on. And the way how these neurochemicals influence the limbic system brings to different behavior in the customers. And basically, and I'm quoting the limbic map model of George Heusel, you will find that all humans have four main neurotransmitters that are, for example, dopamine, serotonin, and so on. And these four neurotransmitters lead to three typical behavioral patterns that we can define as dominance-driven, novelty-driven, or balance-driven. And of course, there are mixed behaviors in the overall population. And I produce a slide to better illustrate this model. And if we have a look to the slides, we will see that we have in the red color, we have the neurochemicals, dopamine, testosterone, and serotonin. And these three neurotransmitters lead to these three different behavior. For example, you will have someone who tend to be more dominant, and he needs also some specific experience that satisfied his limbic system from the dominance point of view. Other people will need stimulant, and other people will need other offers that satisfied the balanced kingdom, which is regulated by serotonin and oxytocin.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. Hopefully we can talk about that last piece a bit later. So you were talking also in our preparation about mastering the brain. What does that mean, and how does it help a salesperson in the selling process?
Yes, well, when we think about mastering the brain, I have to say, as a neuroscientist and with experience in neuromarketing, that we have to disrupt these old beliefs. So putting it in a short sentence, thinking is out and feeling is in. Why I'm saying that? So we learn many formula from the old school. We learn, for example, the AIDA formula with attention, interest, desire, and action. We have learned this USP, unique selling point. So people have focused, I think, on the right, on the wrong mental beliefs, because at the end, it's not your USP which decide whether the customer buys or not. What is really all about is to have an offer that satisfies the expectations from the limbic point of view. And again, you are successful as a salesperson if you are able to create the right neurosales marketing funnel, which allow you from the very beginning to activate the limbic system of your client and create in all your interaction the desired experience in the customer. And anticipating this personal reward, you will be able to produce, like in an automatic way, everything that you have, provided that you have activated the limbic system of your customer.
So can a salesperson then influence the customer's mindset to go ahead and buy?
Yes, absolutely. And if you want, there are a lot of neuroscience-based insight or evidence that are converging to this new principle that basically you can influence the customer's mindset, analyzing his customer is limbic emotional needs or pain. So try to understand what is looking for from an emotional point of view, or which is his pain, which is his problem that creates a trouble, and then offer your product as it will be a pain solvers, or like will be something that reward is emotional state, and this is exactly what brings a positive influence in the selling process.
If companies and organizations, so companies and salespeople want to get into neurosales and neuromarketing, what 3 tips would you give them?
Yes. So first of all, before you start to speak about your offer, giving the details of your car, of your IT, and so on, so number 1 is identify the limbic persona of the person you have in front of you. So, and it's very easy to do that. So try to answer the question, is this person is dominance driven, is novelty driven, or is balance driven? And then number 2, build up accordingly your story based on the typical emotional needs or pains that you have recognized in your targeted customers. And then number 3 is activate also all the 5 senses. So also reinforce your offers and the activation of the limbic system, activating, for example, the acoustic channel or the haptic experience, offering, for example, something that the customer can have in his hands, coming from your company. The fact that the customer has a folder of your product increase to 20%, that this person will remind your offer just based on the fact that your brochure was in his hands.
Thanks very much for coming on the show, and let's look forward to a great summer.
Thanks a lot. All the best for your show, and thanks again for your invitation.